The 100,000 point offer on the Chase Sapphire Preferred is coming to an end very soon. You're going to want to know the dates on that. Bilt has added a new partner, which I think you'll like, and I've got a couple of stories today, one revolving around the cleanest cities in the U.S. Remember last week we talked about the dirtiest cities ranked in the U.S. Well, this week we're going the total opposite and looking at the cleanest cities in the U.S., and I've got a story today related to getting an engagement ring that's a little underwhelming and a very big plot twist at the end of the story that you are going to want to hear about. I can't wait to share that one. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm Brandon Boyd with The Brandon Boyd Show. Thank you so much for watching. Every week I put these videos out, and my goal is to catch you up on all the news you may have missed regarding credit cards, points, miles, travel, and finance. Everything in between. If you do find this video helpful or mildly entertaining, don't forget to be awesome. Give me a big thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notifications for alerts, and keep in mind if you're interested in any of the cards mentioned today, make sure you use my referral link down in the description below. I've got a really nice food deal that's pretty unique from Olive Garden that I'm going to share at the end of the show as well. And we've got a $500 bank bonus. A lot of stuff coming up in this episode. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. The Bilt credit card came on the scene and really created a pretty big stir. It's been very popular since its launch. For the most part, it's received very good reviews because of some of the transfer partners that they work with. Well, now they've added another that a lot of you have probably heard of. The Bilt credit card and loyalty program announced earlier last week that their points now transfer over to Southwest Airlines at a 1-to-1 value. One Bilt point will convert to one Southwest point. So pretty easy to follow. Again, they keep accumulating more transfer partners. This is really exciting. And I like this. The more transfer partners you have when it comes to a particular card, the better. I like this. Let me know what you think. Bank bonuses are a great way to offset the cost of annual fees, and in particular, Chase has one right now that you're going to want to pay attention to. It's a $500 bank bonus with no direct deposit required. So right now, Chase is offering a $500 bonus when you open a Chase business checking account and fund it with a minimum deposit of $10,000 in new money within 30 days and maintain that balance for 60 days. And then you have to complete 5 qualifying transactions within 90 days of opening that account. A quick $500 for 60 days worth of work. Yeah, that's not a bad return. I would definitely take that. Again, these bank bonuses are great. Chase isn't the only one. They're not the only ones that offer these, right? These are all over the country. There are some regional banks that have these bonuses as well. Utilize these. Take advantage of them. They're a great way to offset annual fees and a great way to put more money in your pocket. The Chase Sapphire Preferred card that has the 100,000 point offer has been on fire since its launch, but it will be coming to an end, at least according to rumors, very soon. So rumors are abuzz that this offer may end on May 12th of this year, which is coming up in about 2 weeks. So make sure if you are interested in the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, use a referral link and get that 100,000 point offer. It's a great offer. It's a great intro card for those of you getting into points and miles for the first time. Take advantage of it. If you're interested in starting, now is the time. You know, last week on the show, I looked at rankings of the dirtiest cities in the U.S., and I got some really interesting feedback on that, to say the least. Well, this week, we're going to highlight the cleanest cities in the U.S. according to a recent survey from OxyFresh, the carpet cleaning product. They put out a survey collecting a lot of data and information to look at the cleanest cities in the U.S. Now, they looked at a lot of different factors, from tap water quality to water quality, percentage of pests in the area, and just overall air quality, waste management, things like that. So a lot of factors that are played in here. Let's take a look at the top 10. So number 1 is Portland and the surrounding areas of Vancouver and Hillsboro, Oregon. Second, Seattle, followed by Rochester, New York. Detroit, Minneapolis metropolitan area, Pittsburgh, Richmond, Denver and surrounding area, Phoenix metropolitan area, and then finalizing the top 10 is Kansas City, Missouri / Kansas. You know, some of those are pretty interesting. I'll be quite honest with you. When I think of Detroit, I think of the car industry, and you know, it's a manufacturing area, and typically in large manufacturing areas, you don't think clean water, clean air, but apparently they're doing something there, at least according to this survey. What do you think about this? Are there any surprises in here? Do you think some other cities should be ranked at the top of this top 10 cleanest cities list? This is a very interesting one, very eye-opening, and that's why I share these things. You know, I like to learn new stuff every week when I put these videos out, and I think this is tremendous to put this out there and, you know, maybe change your mind on a few of the cities that maybe you thought weren't as clean as they appear to be on this list, at least. So let me know what you think about this list in the comments. Yeah, every week on the Weekly Pointers News Update, I like to share a story as it relates to credit cards, points and miles, travel, money, finance, and how those come together with personal relationships. Now, this story today is going to be a little bit different, all right? I'm going to share the details from what someone posted online, and then I'm going to let you come to your conclusion. We're going to pause for about 5 seconds after you've thought of what you would say, and then I'm going to read you the rest of the story that was updated just a few days later. So we're going to dig into this. This lady is really upset with the size of her engagement ring and the amount of money that her husband put on the ring. Let me know what you think. I'm going to read it from her perspective. Here we go. My fiance is quite well off, and while I don't make as much as him, I certainly would not be struggling on my own. He rotates between a few very expensive watches that he wears to work, and while we have a good grasp on financial literacy, we aren't shy about spending for the important parts of life. We openly share finances, so I know he isn't secretly in debt or any such nonsense. The ring that he gave me is nice and understated, but more of a nice stacker than an engagement ring to show off. The stone is quite small. It is not heirloom. When friends or family get engaged, there's always the excitement in sharing the news, and inevitably someone will ask to see the ring, and then everyone coos over it, and it's a good time. When I showed my friends, the mood got awkward, and they feigned excitement just long enough until it was okay to change the topic. This is not a knock on them. They are just terrible liars. I would like to make it clear I'm not expecting a 3-month salary ring or anything over the top. However, this is a piece I will be wearing daily for decades and is largely considered a symbol of his love. But I really don't think I'm out of line for thinking of it as a long-term investment piece given the amount of wear it will see. Surely my ring should be worth more than a gaming console, and that's just not the case here. Am I wrong for being upset about this? Look, in this case, I would say I wouldn't be upset about it, but it is a little bit of a touchy subject, right? At least according to the information that we have right now. Do you think in this case, or maybe in a different case, maybe you've been involved with something like this, do you think that the amount of money spent on the ring does show what love really is from the other person? Does this person only think of you a few $100s worth, a few $1,000s worth? Does that even matter? Well, we got an update. While you're thinking of that, we did get an update on this story, which is really, really interesting. And maybe the fact that she was thinking about this and raising the question was a good thing. Let's find out why. So here's the update. He came home and we were settling down around dinner. I started the conversation with, "Honey, I'd like to talk about the ring." And before I could finish, he just blew up. He started yelling, "Effing finally," and how I had ruined everything by waiting so long to talk to him about this. To be brief, he bought a crappy ring from a jeweler who got bad reviews so that when I got upset over it, he could dump me under the guise that I was a gold digger. He is apparently having an affair with a younger model that he quote unquote earned, but knew that breaking things off with me when everyone loved me so much would hurt his optics. So he had to make it all about me and make it my fault. Wow. Okay, so just think about that when you were thinking about how you would answer the question of the story first. Does your opinion change now that find out that he's been having an affair for however many months it is? Might change things a little bit. So does the amount of money spent really show how committed someone is? It's a really interesting story. I certainly understand the sentiment behind this, especially considering both of them are pretty well off, and she stated at the beginning of the story that he has a lot of luxury watches and things like that. Love shouldn't have a monetary value necessarily, but there are some red flags when it reaches such an extreme extent. In this case, it's an interesting story, an unfortunate outcome for the person that posted it online, but I don't think they were out of line in this case to at least question why so little money was spent on it, and now we know why. You know, every week on the Weekly Pointers News Update, I like to end the show on a good food deal. This week is no exception, and this week we are going to Olive Garden. So Olive Garden has a buy one, take one offer where you get to pick one favorite to enjoy with your unlimited first course and a second favorite to take for later on us. So what you do, basically for $14.99, you can choose an entree, choose a super salad, get breadsticks as well, and then you get to get a second entree that will be packed up for you to take home later on. So those are things like spaghetti with meat sauce, fettuccine alfredo, 5-cheese ziti, all kinds of other options as well. So anytime you can get dinner, let's say dinner for two in this case, right? You could get 2 whole servings of pasta, you could get soup, you could get breadsticks, all for 15 bucks. That's definitely a good deal, all right? And I know some people are gonna say, Olive Garden's not real Italian food. It's not this, it's not that. I like Olive Garden, I'm not gonna lie. I do like it. I eat there every now and then when I'm traveling, when I'm on the road, stuff like that. 15 bucks for 2 people to eat in this day and age, it's a good thing. Don't let anybody tell you any differently. Take advantage of this offer. Well, this has been a very fun episode. We talked about a lot of different topics, actually. We talked about Bilt adding new partners. We talked about a big elevated offer on the Sapphire Preferred coming to an end very soon. We got the bank bonus offer, the cleanest cities in the US, and I've got to know what you think about that story as it relates to the cost of an engagement ring and how ultimately cost did raise a big red flag in the overall health of this relationship. Now, is that the case every single time? Do you think it is? I don't know. It's up for you to decide. But in this case, it was definitely a red flag, and I'm glad she looked at it and brought it up. Anyway, if you are interested in any of the cards mentioned in today's video, make sure you use my referral link down in the description below. That always helps support the channel. Can't thank you all enough for doing that so far. If you found this video helpful or mildly entertaining, don't forget to be awesome. Give me a big thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notifications for alerts. And when you click on the Brandon Boyd Show, click, you are going to get the latest information on credit cards, points and miles, travel, money, finance, free Olive Garden, and everything in between, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. We'll see you soon.